All right, in this video here, I'm gonna go through two scenarios that have happened to me. One was my fault and the other one wasn't my fault. Hopefully with this video, you can be able to learn from our mistakes that we made and these two mishaps on our eBay. So stay tuned. Scenarios that happened to me just recently on eBay, and this is the unfortunate ugly side of eBay when you have to be able to deal with customers whether it's your fault or not. And I'm going to go through two scenarios. So the first scenario was where my wife sent out a jacket to the Real, which is a high-end class luxury consignment, and I didn't realize it happened, unfortunately. And so I had that jacket still listed on the eBay. Someone sent me a best offer and I accepted it, and I realized I messed up. And so right now at the moment we are waiting for the jacket to come back from the Real because it was rejected. But in the meantime, I had to open a communication line up with the customer, and I'll show you our conversations all the way through once I contacted eBay customer service. And then the second scenario was a wire transfer fee on a camera that was only for parts only sold. And the gentleman pretty much told me straight up that I chose to do the wire transfer fee, which isn't the case. You can't option into that in PayPal or on eBay. So hopefully with these two scenarios here, you guys can be able to learn from my handling of both situations, and so for you in the future to be able to do the same thing. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into this. So as soon as I realized I messed up, I went ahead and I ended up emailing the buyer right away. And forgive the grammar on this because I was doing speech to text, so it doesn't look like the greatest write-up ever.
So I said, hello, I'm waiting for my wife to respond because she's out of town, but I think she might have sent the jacket to the Real to be sold. But just check it on the website, it is not listed, so we can get it back. This is a huge misunderstanding and a lack of communication between her and I of what we had on eBay and what she sent off. So we can either issue a refund and let you know when it comes back, or if you can wait patiently to get it back from the we get it back from the Real, and we'll send it off and I'll give you a discount. I am so sorry for this inconvenience. Let me know what you would like to do.
So in his response, I wasn't expecting this. I rightfully and legally purchased this item. You accepted my counteroffer, which is a binding agreement. Kindly let me know when it has shipped. And so I was like, okay, I'm dealing with this type of person. And like I said, I didn't know what his experience was on eBay, if he must have had bad experiences, but this was my first incident, since I started doing this part-time December 4th.
So my next response was, so yes, I was informed that the item is on the way back. As I mentioned, there was a mistake that my wife sent to eBay. My wife sent it away, but it is coming back and I will let you know when it ships. I will refund you 60%. Now let me remind you, I said 60% at this point of the cost due to our mistake, and let you know when it arrives and we ship it out. I am truly sorry for this error, and I hope the compensation can make up for our mistake.
So his next reply was, hello, do you have an update on when this will ship? Thank you. So next up, I said, hello, as of right now, we do not know until Monday. For the inconvenience, I will be giving you a full refund at this point and notify you when it arrives and shipped. Sorry for this, and we'll keep you updated. And this was his response. Before
I escalate this case to eBay fraud department and leave you a negative review under your profile, I would like you to tell me why I should continue to wait for this item to ship and the refund that you've offered twice but still has not happened. I do not like games and excuses and find this whole ordeal unprofessional.
Now, when I read this, I figured, okay, unprofessional would have been if I didn't send him the item at all. But the fact of the matter is that I sent him a message right away when the transaction was completed on eBay. So before I go into the next message here, I ended up reaching out to eBay and saying, hey, here's a situation. I've tried to be able to be civil and let him know of my mistake. And this is what he's doing towards me, is threatening and everything else. Well, let me remind you that eBay saves all the conversations, and they can see all the conversations when you call the customer service. So keep this in mind when you call eBay. If you've had an irate customer and you are irate back to them, you're probably not going to win your case. And that whole saying the customer's always right may probably beat you in the end. But for my situation here, I called eBay. I said, hey, I got this guy threatening to report me to fraud, also leaving a negative review. Can you help me out? So the great thing was that eBay looked at our conversations. They noticed that, hey, you did reach out to them immediately when you realized you made a mistake, and that you wanted to fix the mistake by doing all these courses of action. Well, good thing was the gentleman from eBay said, don't worry, you're not going to get docked. The only thing that's going to hurt you is your shipping, but that's about it. Otherwise, you'll still be good. I wanted to cancel the item completely, but they said don't do that, because if you do have the item coming back and you are still going to send the item to the client, then just leave it there, because it looks worse on your report for your eBay account as a discretion on your eBay. This is what I wrote here.
I reached out to eBay to notify them of your concerns and also filing of being a fraud. And they assured me, based on our conversations, that they pulled up that this was an honest mistake that I made and that it will be refuted as an error and not a fraud. I will show you screenshots of it being sent to the real and that it is on the way back, and also informed eBay of a negative review based upon this, and I will be rebuttaling the negative review. Based upon our conversation that I made a mistake, I reached out to you, told you of the mistake, and yet here we are still arguing about it. I have been very civil and very peaceful of this matter, and I understand you being upset, and I am owning up to my mistake of a failure to communicate with my wife on this matter, of the product not being present, and I truly apologize for that.
The next message that I got from him was, thank you. I truly have no desire to leave any negative feedback. It was a recurring pattern on eBay that when I purchase an item, it suddenly is not available anymore. My frustration comes from this history. If in good faith you honestly made this mistake, then we can drop it. Keep the 25. It won't break me, God bless. Unless in hindsight, make sure when you go through your inventory, you have that item. And that's what I actually need to do. I have over 280 items on my eBay. I do need to go through and scrub it and make sure I have everything, but then also categorizing all my items, because it's all over the place right now. And in my response, this is what I said.
Thank you for your understanding. Realize I only do this part-time and in the Army, and the last thing I want to have is a bad experience with a buyer, which is why I immediately reached out to you to inform you of our mistake. In the attachment, I have a screenshot of the consignment store, the real, sending the jacket back or pending sending the jacket back. We just don't know yet. I'm truly sorry for the misunderstanding, and I understand your frustration based on previous experiences. Thank you for the positive review, and hopefully for me, this is a lesson learned on my adventure in reselling.
And then I'll blow up the picture here. So this is the real right here, and this is them showing the refund or the jacket not being accepted, and that it is going to be sent back. So with this here, like I said, I didn't want to go into crazy detail as far as what was going on, but you can see through the messages pretty much for yourself. And that's, like I said, understanding that you are a business at the end of the day, and you have to be able to address situations like this, whether it's your fault or not. And in the next scenario, you're going to see that and how I handled this situation based upon what the client was saying to me.